Oh, dear. Okay. Okay. It is 9 o'clock according to my watch. I don't know what everybody else's clocks say. But good morning, and we're going to call this meeting to order. Oh, we sure do. I turned on her microphone. Okay. Nope, she'll be right back. It's all good. It's all good.
Here she is.
Miss America.
I made them look happy.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. I hope Mr. Giles doesn't think I'm going to write him a letter.
Wait, are you Dave or David?
Well, David Lee.
But do you go, which one do you go by? Because I call you Dave. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Mr. Actually,
My little football this morning.
We go by whatever name Sandy gives him.
Whenever I answer to a lot of things.
Same. Same.
Okay,
wife calls me Charles. I'm in trouble.
Oh.
Sandy, we are ready for roll call.
alrighty.
Oh, well, we're actually, no, we're not. We have to do pledge allegiance first. They were having me wait for you.
Oh.
Jeff, would you lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag
of
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now we're ready for roll call.
Revis,
Here.
Balich, Freeman, Hickey,
Here.
Axley,
Yes.
Winfrey, Trinier.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Sandy. And now we have the opportunity to approve the minutes from May 6th. If I could have a motion.
Second, Hickey.
Motion Freeman, second Hickey. Are there any questions, revisions, changes? Okay, we'll go with another roll call. Thank you, Sandy.
Revis,
Yes.
Balich. Oh, Freeman,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Axley,
Yes.
Winfrey, Trinier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, that's wonderful. I have no old business. Moving on with new business. Item number 1, adopting the Will County 2026-31 Transportation Improvement Program. Any questions, concerns, comments? Yes, Mr. Balich.
I don't like the idea.
Yeah, hold on. It's not coming up. What did I? No, it's,
There you
he did. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I hit the light and then it,
There you go.
You're all good now.
it's good now. I don't like the idea of calling this a plan anymore. I think we need to change the word from plan to idea. Or some word that's offering up change. Because pretty much what's going on with all these roads, we're gonna put a road where you live or anybody lives, we're gonna put a road in, we're planning to put this road in 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or whatever. And that's the plan. And then every time it comes back to the board, we'll vote on that plan again. Well, no one cares about the plan because it's not happening. Then all of a sudden, when the plan comes to fruition, now all of a sudden, there's all kinds of problems. There's all kinds of people complaining, they're all mad and with good reason. And in some cases, the road really isn't even needed anymore because a new road came in that isn't part of our county system, but it's part of like the toll road or a state road or an IDOT road or whatever.
Okay.
So
Well, thank you.
why can't we put something on an agenda to say that we would like to change the word from plan to idea so that everyone understands that it's just an idea. So if they want to have a 2025 plan, we could vote on a 2025 plan to go all the way to 30, 40, 50, whatever, right? It wouldn't matter. But if we call it an idea, because I'm going to vote no to every plan from now on, because when you call it a plan and we vote for a plan, then what's happening is everyone believes it's a plan that's going to happen.
Okay.
So let's call it an idea.
Okay. Well, thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. Member Freeman. you're up next.
I, in regards to a plan to an idea, I think we should leave it as a plan because it has, it is a plan. We are planning to do this in the future. When you go on vacation, you make plans. You don't make an idea, you make a plan. All of the surrounding municipalities and townships, they have plans. And I would say that uniformity is good.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any comments? Yep, Mr. Revis.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to maybe get a summary on a couple of the major projects, specifically the Illinois 57 to Illinois 39. You got a second to answer a question on that or no?
Yeah.
If not-
Absolutely.
But if
answer,
not, I mean, we can always do it offline. I'm just doing it for the good of the public record.
Push your mic. Thank you. All right.
That looked like to me that was the most expensive one in the plan. Totaling $110.8 million.
Which county board district?
I thought it was two? No, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know the numbers of the district.
I'm not, what road were you on? Looking at?
Illinois 57 to Illinois 39.
39.
A part of our plan?
Yeah,
I don't even see that on the map, so.
I mean, I-57 isn't our road, it's the state route. 39 is in another county, I believe.
Yeah, it's in like Kendall or something or Grundy.
oh, okay. Never mind.
Okay, all
I
right,
withdraw from the record.
okay. No problem. Member Van Dyne. There you go.
Thank you. If we're talking about the 2026 to 2031 transportation improvement program, but in that resolution, it does state the 2040 long-range plan. So to be more concise, I don't understand what Member Balich is trying to change.
He wants to change it to the Will County Transportation Improvement Idea
Instead of
And-
program?
instead of plan. The word is plan on the first page.
Yeah, if I can add a little more to that too.
And there, on the agenda, it says program, but on the
Yeah, that's our
actual
agenda.
document, it says plan.
Yeah. So the 2040 plan is what we're currently under right now. And that's statutory that I have to provide a 20-year plan, which we've done. And as you know, we're doing the 2050. Another part of that requirement in the statute is that we have to have a list of the major improvements anticipated within 5 years of the date of each plan. So we're talking about the plan, the multi-year, the long-range plan, and then we have this 5-year plan. It's associated to the same document. So we meet that annual update with this multi-year plan. So that's how the 26-20-31 is our annual responsibility to update this plan. So we do that every single year. So that's why the word has always been that way, because it's kind of tied to the existing statutory document.
Correct. Thank you. And I would just say for the record, my own experience living in Bolingbrook, there was a sign at the dead end of Kings Road in the middle of a subdivision, very near a former board member's house. And for years, that sign was there, probably close to 30. And it said, future site of the Kings Road extension. And when the county finally moved forward on that, the neighbors all had angst about it. I'll just say angst. And they came and they protested and they were upset. The sign was there when they bought their house. The sign didn't go up after they bought their home. It was there when they bought their homes. And other than taking a 2x4 and hitting them over the head, I don't know how much more aware you can make somebody. And, you know, you make the decision as the buyer, as the as the consumer to buy your home. It is incumbent upon you to know what is in your neighborhood, what's in your community, what the taxes are, what the school district is. And if you don't check any of that out, that is certainly not anybody's fault. Growth and expansion will happen. Sometimes there won't be a sign for 30 years. Sometimes it has to do with what has happened in the neighborhood. the number of houses, the number of businesses, the number of warehouses and factories and et cetera, et cetera. But it is a plan. It is not an idea. We are budgeting for this. And each year, if we choose not to approve something, the way we do that is to not appropriate the money. That's my understanding of how this would work, or vote it down in committee or make a change in committee, which is what we're here to do today. So if there is a specific road, like Mr. Revis brought up, even though it wasn't what he was thinking.
Or
But if
just off
there is
one
some-
number.
Yeah,
we've
just
got.
one number, and he'll get back to it, I'm sure. Then, now is the time to bring that up and bring your evidence forward and talk about why it's not a good plan moving forward. But it is a plan. It's not an idea. Member Williams, let me find you.
I just had a question because since it's such a large number of years, so will we ever go back in? Maybe it was a good idea at the time and now it's not. So can the plan be amended and how will we go about doing that?
It can be amended, but this particular one that we're looking at today is just for the next 5 years.
And I do understand that. I'm just saying that if that's the
Yep.
concern, which I think it is, but
It is. And now's the time to amend it today and going into the full county board meeting next week. And next year, around this same time, we'll be looking at this again and it'll say 2027 to 2032. Did I say that right? Yeah, 32. It's 5 years, every year, it's 5 years into the future. And that's when it gets like really serious about the phase one engineering, the money, et cetera, et cetera. The 2050 plan that we're going to be looking at and voting on. Yeah, they've got some budget ideas, but you're not doing, and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not doing any phase one engineering in the 2050 plan.
No, it's not, that's too high level. The
Mhm.
2050 plan covers, these are the roads we look to address. Then this multi-year plan gets into the phasing of it all, initiating a contract, and then we have the individual contracts themselves, the phase one contract itself, which we bring to you for final approval. So it's like you got the 10,000 foot level, 500, and then the 50-foot level. So it's like that.
So it is a process. Mr. Revis, did you want to read?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry, I was missing the 4 on my note. So it's Crete-Monee Road, Illinois 57 to Illinois 394.
Sure.
So the only reason I'm bringing up, and I'm just doing this for public record, and we got to meet to talk about something, so we might as well spend some time talking about the matter in front of us. It appears to be the most expensive one on the entire list. There's $110.8 million for, look at that construction, segment 3 construction. There's $14 million for construction engineering, segment 3. But I guess my question is, the dates, it goes from 2027, which is only a couple years away, all the way through 2031. How can we have confidence in these estimated costs when inflation and other factors, that we can't account for today might, be something we need to account for? You know what I'm getting at?
I do. And actually, every year I would usually do more like a 10-minute presentation on this because some of you are new. I don't have to do that. I can do that if you want to go into it. One of those things I would usually say addresses that. So if you want to look at Crete-Monee, that's actually page 19 on that. Tim, if you can bring that up just so we can have the perspective for everyone here. And
Okay.
kind of explain this chart so everyone understands the charts. They apply to every page on here, but Crete-Monee in specific is broken up into a lot of different segments. It's still in very preliminary stages, so we don't know limits of these individual segments. So right now we just say segment and we've assigned dollars to it. Page 19 of the PDF. Jump.
I have that. Is there a construction contingency in there, like 10,
Yeah,
20%?
so every year, I mean, those numbers right there, we just started, they're lofty numbers. Those are not going to be the numbers that we hit. Hopefully we're close, but we might not be. So every year when we come back,
Wait
every
a
one of
second.
these numbers is updated.
Can you rewind and say what you just said? These numbers are lofty? These are.
For Crete-Monee itself, yes, because we're so early in the design, we're actually only in the preliminary design. We're not even in design engineering yet. So those are high estimate numbers.
Okay, so that's a overestimation, not an underestimation.
I can't say that. I'm just saying it's our best guess at the moment. It may go
Okay.
higher, it may go lower, but as each year comes forward, and I bring this forward each and every year, we update every single number with the best knowledge that we have.
Understood. I would like to see if that's the case, just somewhere on there, the word estimation, just so the public, I mean, this is all going to be in the public record.
Is it-
So,
is it written in the body of the beginning of the.
I
plan?
will have to check. I
I
don't
can
know
read it
how
word
we
for word.
worded that necessarily, amount.
I mean, that kind of I think
We could
that
say
matters. And,
estimated
it
amount on
speaks
the
to
header.
Steve's point, we're expected to vote on this stuff, and it follows you along, and if we're going to be voting on it, I don't want my name tied to an estimation that could be low or could be high, and then, years later, factors out of our control, totally blow this open, So I would just say I'd like to see the word estimation on there if we can, maybe make that change, or if there needs to be a motion. I don't know.
So change the header from amount to estimated amount.
Yeah.
That satisfies.
Yeah,
that
or
particular
even if
thing.
it's just like at the very bottom of the page, something that says like, these figures or figures with an asterisk are estimations at this juncture or something like that. I don't know.
Tim, would you scroll down one more page just to see if there's an,
Jeff, just to be clear too, you're doing this plan. If something happens and the price of whatever goes up so much that this road, we don't have enough money in our budget, it would just be stretched out further
we
down.
would have to move it back a year, which some of these projects have moved back a year, either because the right of way isn't complete, utilities aren't complete. We have the money when we go to construction, just because it's a 5-year plan. I mean, we're looking ahead. So
Once we get to
that's
that
not
point.
really ever an issue for us, but if it is, then it just moves back a year or two, wherever the case might be. So like that Crete Monet, if you go back up one more time. So you'll, one more up higher. There you go. Keep going. Right there, Crete Monet. So you see construction, 2030, we have money. 2031, we have money. Then under that, you see MYB. That's because we don't have the money to build everything within 2030 and 31. So we have to wait for the future years to come forward and bring that in. That's what MYB means. So you'll see that on a few of the other projects. MYB, multi-year B. Now, this is like the multi-year plan A. Multi-year B is the stuff that's outside the 2031. So we would hope to bring those segments in on future years.
And then if something happens at the state level with the RTA tax money, that would change all of this.
Well, yes, that would change everything.
So again, this is the plan as of today for 5 years, but it could change based on revenues. So I'm gonna take member Oxley next. Hold on, let me turn it on. Go ahead.
Paragraph C states that this could be looked at every year. Let me read it to you.
Yeah.
Planning document is therefore intended as a guide for future improvements and maintenance, subject to change on an annual basis.
Mm-hmm.
And we know we go to bid, the engineer's estimate is one thing, you go to bid, it's another thing. It is what it is after that. Doesn't matter who said what. And that's why you have contingencies built into these funds.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Member Freeman.
So I went to the looking our way forward, Will County Transportation. They talked about a lot of this. They had excellent pictures of everything. They had people available to ask questions. And one of the things that my husband asked, because I knew he needed to be there, was what kind of program do you use to look into the future? And it was explained that there's this computerized program, I'm not exactly sure what it was called, but that it takes these things into consideration, and that like when they're looking at the figures, it will estimate increases, and it will look as to areas of development, and it can change daily if we ask it to with the changes that are made. Am I correct, Jeff?
For the 2050 plan, yeah, they're using TransCAD to model the traffic for 2050. And if something comes up, a huge development or airport or whatever, we can update that model and see what the traffic might look like when that comes in. That's pretty high level, not necessarily for this particular plan, because this is the real world stuff that we are working on right now,
Mm-hmm.
or will be in the next year or two. But yeah, for the 2050, that
Was
has
that
time to do
type
that.
of program once applied to this?
There was I don't remember the name of the program, but there was some model done for the 2040 plan, yes.
So it's still been applied. It's still there. I'm okay with this. It's a plan. Plans change. I may plan to go to Jewel Osco for groceries today, and I may end up at Tony's. It's still a plan.
So next year, if I may just add real quick, next year, we're gonna, this one is based on the 2040 plan. Next year is going to be based off the 2050 plan as the framework. So we might bring new projects in based on what the 2050 plan says. This particular MYP we're looking at today, it doesn't have any new projects just because we have plenty of backlog with the ones we're already working on now. But next year might be a different story. We might have to look at some other priorities to add into the program. So we'll see about that on next year's version. But this one is all based off the 2040, and it does not add any new projects except for an IGA we had with Village of Manuka for McGilvery Road. Other than that, everything else is the same.
That's really important to know, and I'm glad you stated that, because I've voted on the 2040 plan at least once. And it's nice to know that we've pretty much stuck to it, you know, and for the some other board members that have been here for a long time, they voted on that as well. So now is the time when we're talking about this 2050 plan to look at it and say, you know, I don't really agree with this. I don't like that, and send your feedback. I know our chief of staff has asked in multiple emails. Jeff has asked. There are 3 public presentations, one of which I know for sure already took place because I went to it. This is your time as a board member to do your due diligence and go look at what this plan is. And if you can't get to one of the events, you have the document in an email, and you have staff available to explain anything to you that you have a question about. Member Revis now has a question or comment.
Yeah. So I was just saying that, you know, to speak to Member Oxley and Member Freeman's points, that there's a perception that this is not just a plan. I know in our conversation right now, it's clear that it's a plan and it's going to change and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the public, when they look back on this, and the only time that they're going to look back on this is when something happens that they're not happy with, and they're going to look at this and they're going to perceive it as something that was an official document that we were, you know, committing to in a concrete manner, and there wasn't that flexible plan mentality to it. So I would just like it to be like clear in there. You know, I can kind of see on the bottom right here, any funds in italics are funds that we are pursuing and do not have final IGAs approved. And then I would just like to see something similar, you know, whether it's an asterisk or if it was highlighted in yellow, you know, this is a estimated figure, and then maybe we put the date that it was voted on next to it or something like that. I would just say, yeah, so.
Okay. No more questions from committee members. So I'm going to take another question from Member Balich.
Yeah, now you're misconstruing, I think a lot of people are, what I said about an idea. You know, the reason I said it should be changed to idea is because, for instance, I'm going to use a bad example, but it's 143rd Street. I voted probably 3-4 times, I have no idea, to approve the 20, at that time would have been 2000 to 2030 or 2000 to 25 or 2000 to whatever, the 2070, whatever would have been. I voted for those plans because when we were on the board, we just assumed that these plans were just there. And if there was something we didn't like in it, we brought it up. Like we had raised barrier median stopped on 143rd Street, me and Frizzalone. That was in probably, I don't even know the year.
13 maybe.
Yeah, whatever it was. But we got that pulled out because the people were screaming about raised barrier medians. People didn't realize what the road was. And neither did me and Mike. We were just going along with the 20, you know, it's a plan. It's just a plan, what everybody's saying. Well, it's more than a plan, because when you vote for the plan, the people believe that you're in favor of the plan. So me and Mike Frizzalone, we were glad to get the raised barrier median stopped for the people. But that wasn't enough. We voted yes to the plan, which is what's happening now. So, and when we voted yes, 159th Street wasn't there. It was not there. It was a 2-lane, you know, it was nothing. Now it's like a super raw road, right? And then,
Okay, Mr. Balch, can
355.
you
I'm
get to
trying
your
to say is that we cannot keep voting for these plans that go out and call it a plan and go out 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or 50 years. And I get that the road district has to have some kind of an idea what they're going to do. So we have to come up with a different word or a different, well, some kind of a thing on our, like what Mark Revis was talking about, on the bottom. This is not a plan that is positively going to happen because there could be changes and the changes could come within a year. Everything could be fine somewhere for all the time. Then all of a sudden something happens that makes it so it won't work when the project starts. It could happen that fast in 1 year, right?
Okay.
So
we've
why,
got your
why are we
point.
expected to vote on something? We have no idea what is going to happen and then be responsible for those votes that we voted that were actually not
Okay,
good votes.
I think everybody's heard you. I think they understand what you're asking for.
Well, I think
I've
we
heard
got to do something
suggestions.
about it. It's not about asking. I said, we got to do something about it because if we don't, everybody is going to be in the same boat.
Well, I
don't
haven't
care
heard a
where you
motion.
live,
Do you
it's
have a motion?
bipartisan issue.
Mr.
It's not
Balch,
a
do you have a
Republican
motion?
issue.
Do you have a motion?
Can I make a motion that's not on the agenda?
You're not on the committee,
I'm on the committee.
then you can make a motion.
Well, I motion that we change the way we identify these plans to make it so that we have a word like idea, or we have a disclaimer on there that these plans are not going to be exactly like this.
I would ask that you reduce your motion to writing because it
Well, you know
doesn't sound
what?
like you're very
You
sure
know
what
what?
you
You're
want to
telling me to
have.
make a motion on it. I didn't
Well-
think I could make a motion because it's not on the agenda to do that.
The plan is on the agenda.
Okay, well then,
I think I have an idea, man. Can I go?
go ahead, Mark.
And I actually think, you know, Chair Trainier,
I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, our rules say it has to be in writing, so.
okay,
Madam
so
Chair.
I was just gonna say, maybe we make a motion now to add a preamble to the plan that outlines exactly what we're talking about, how, you know, this is by all estimate, you know, by all accounts, only estimations and amounts that we're striving and projects that we're striving for, you know, something like that. I think this is good for all of us. We should want a letter like this to go with the plan. Republican, Democrat, somewhere in between. This, I think, is good. So I agree with Steve.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's something you guys want to pursue, but
I like what Mark said, but the problem is when you say make a motion to something like that, I want to make sure I'm using the right language.
Well, then take your time and get the language together. This is 1 year, one plan. We're going to do this again next year. Nothing's going to
Well,
stop you
we-
from
we
making a
should-
change.
We're going to
between
have a
now and then.
lot besides this plan. We're going to have other plans.
Right, and we
coming
can
up.
certainly
You know,
make
so
amendments.
What Mark said, I want to, do you want me to make a different motion or do you want me to
I
just?
don't
add
want you to
on?
do anything.
Oh,
I'm just reading the
Okay, well
agenda.
then, I want to make a motion, and I'm hoping I get a second, to have the word plan.
Wait a minute, we already have a motion.
Yeah.
What are we doing with that?
this is the
Okay.
Are
motion
you
for to add a
withdrawing it?
preamble, correct?
It's your motion. Are you withdrawing it? Are
Okay.
you going to put it in writing? What? I mean, our rules say it's
Okay,
supposed
I
to be
made
in
my
writing.
motion, the one I just said, that was convoluted, but it was clear enough. And then
What's the
Mark can
motion?
amend my motion if he wants.
State the motion, please, for the record.
My motion is to, I'm glad I get to redo it. So now I got 30 seconds more to think about it. My motion is to have on the plan a preamble that says that this is not a definite plan. It can be changed at any time.
I would like to make a second for that motion.
Any comments on the motion?
With the asterisk that we're gonna make, you know, have staff make the preamble nice and strong sounding, you know, and well-written. You know, Steve, you're very articulate, but that doesn't cut it for what I'm looking for, but the concept does, you know, so as long as we could, you know, on that understanding. I think it's a good idea, Joe.
Mr. Van Dyne, did you want to comment on the motion?
My comment on the motion is I don't believe we can change the plan at any time. It would have to be at a committee. So I don't think this committee should actually pass that amendment because I don't think it's legal. I mean, if we're going to get into the weeds about it, the change has to be taken place in an open meeting. It cannot be changed at any time.
Okay, well, I'm talking articulate that within this letter, understanding that this letter is going to be written by staff and checked by the state's attorney's office.
Yeah, and this passes, it goes to the full county board for a vote, and then the full county board could vote on it. So I mean, where's the open meeting or where's, why
Okay.
not? Just
All right, you
pass.
made your motion. Mr. Van Dyne had his comments. Ms. Winfrey, did you want to comment on the motion? No, that's okay. Let me turn your mic on. I know you were in line to talk, but I didn't know if you wanted to speak on the motion.
Okay, well, no, not on that.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
wait till they
All right,
get done.
so can we get a roll call, I guess?
Oh, Dave's got his.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave.
First and foremost, I don't want to hear RRD, any of that. We're here to get this done. So, and I agree with Steve and Mark, but also in the presentation, the third article, which I read already, is subject to change on an annual basis. We're just creating more bureaucracy. We've got enough of that already. But I agree with him because what's I think Steve's referring to is people are saying, well, you voted for 143rd Street expansion, now you're against it because of this long-term plan, which Jeff has to have in place to do a long-term plan because that's the requirements of it. So that's where we're getting caught up in this. We need to end it and deal with it.
All right, can we call the
If
roll?
I could just ask one question though. So in the third paragraph in our introduction, it says the 2026, 2031 Transportation Improvement Plan, the plan exists as a planning tool for Will County. So planning tool isn't enough.
I think it is, but this is what we're going to vote on.
Planning
It's not
tool doesn't
enough.
satisfy.
It's not
the-
enough. Look what happened in just the past couple months to Steve.
Yes.
And he's not wrong with that.
Okay.
So, for the record, there was a motion and then I second it. So I think we vote on it.
We're going to
All
vote on it. Roll call, please.
Revis,
Yes.
Balich,
Yes.
Freeman, Hickey,
No.
Oxley,
Yes.
Winfrey,
No.
Trinier.
No.
Motion fails.
Thank you very much. All right. So now, Member Winfrey.
I have my light on
Yes.
to ask for, to move that we accept the transportation plan with the addition of the word estimated totals
Mhm.
on the plan.
Thank you. And we got a second. Any comments on that? Questions? Okay, Sandy, can you please call the roll?
Revis,
Yes.
Balich,
Yes.
Freeman, no,
Estimation's good. I like
Freeman.
estimation.
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Oxley,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Trinier.
Yes.
Good.
Motion passes.
Motion carries. Okay,
Okay.
now we're on to number 2, accepting the donation. And Jeff, could you just explain this one? Because I want to make sure that I understood it correctly.
Sure, absolutely.
Motion to get that one, but we were just dealing with as amended.
I'm sorry, what are you saying? I can't hear you.
Well, we
Can you put her?
Oh, yeah, probably do. I don't know. Let's, State's Attorney. Ms. Winfrey made the motion and to approve this with the addition of the language or estimate onto the costs. Do we now have to vote on it as amended? I mean, I feel like that was.
Go ahead. I don't think so, but it doesn't hurt anything.
Clarify the record.
Okay, just to make it clear, yes, can we do another roll call as amended?
Okay. Revis,
Yes.
Balich,
It's just the same plan that is in our agenda with the addition of the word estimated for the amount, the cost in the table.
Freeman,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Oxley,
Yes.
Winfrey,
Yes.
Trinier.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay, now on to number 2, accepting a donation.
You want to go ahead or do you need a motion
Yeah,
first?
Motion.
Yeah, motion by Revis,
Second by Hickey.
second by Hickey. Yes, now, can you
All right.
explain that?
So this is similar to one we did a couple of months ago. When a development comes in and they need to do turn lanes or improvements along the roadway. And we also have our own project coming along right around the corner. And we don't feel it is necessary for the left turn lane to be in while it's being constructed. Our improvement will get there in a timely fashion. We don't feel like it's necessary to waste that money. So the ordinance allows the opportunity for that developer to make a donation in lieu, so that they don't build the constructions, but the money comes to us and it gets applied to the county improvements, which also includes those left turn lanes. So in this case, we're at the northwest corner of Laraway and Shear Road. There's a subdivision going in there. And it is in our multi-year plan to make that a 5-lane in that area, which will include the necessary access improvements for that subdivision. So they've made the donation, and we just need approval by the committee to accept. I don't think there's no resolution. It's just an accepting at the Public Works level.
I think I know what Mr. Revis's question is going to be, and I would ask the same question. Is this in fact enough to cover the cost of the left-hand turn lane?
Those were estimates prepared by our consultant that then the developer accepted.
Got it. I was just gonna say, it looked like it's 130% of that cost. Is that what?
Yeah, there is a contingency in case the bid comes in and is higher. That way we're not stuck with a lower.
Yeah, for sure. So 130. I guess my just question would be like, couldn't we like try and get like 155% or some other number like that, you know, and try and like, not like strong arm it, but like, you know, try and fight for a bigger donation for the taxpayers, you know, to make this easier. I mean, they're going to be dragging dirt and mud and, you know, building construction, you know.
Well, at the level we're at, where the estimates are pretty sound. I mean, we know the quantities. We're going to build within a couple of years. We feel pretty confident in this. So the estimates, the engineers do a pretty good job of estimating. You might get pushback from the developers if you ask for something more than kind of the industry standard is 30%. I mean, I suppose you could ask whatever you want, but this is kind of the industry standard. And typically it doesn't go 55% more than the original estimate. I sure hope not, but you know, inflation does happen, like you mentioned.
And I think, generally speaking, people complain about government and its fees more than enough and taxes. I think the 30%, if it is the industry standard, is probably where we should stay.
Yeah, but this is from the builder, correct? Or the developer?
It is.
Yeah. The people
Do you
complain
want to
about
make a
it.
motion?
No,
Or
no,
change
I mean,
your
I'm just,
statement?
I mean, I would make a motion to go higher, but there's clearly no appetite for that amongst the board members. So anyway,
Okay. All right. Any,
but philosophically, we're talking about, you know, this is something that, you know, a lot of Democrats agree with, you know,
I think I heard.
the
previous
companies and corporations for an account.
Member Winfrey,
Second, Hickey.
second by Hickey. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. And Mr. Balich would like to
Change to a
change his vote to a yes. All right, number 3, confirming award of contract to Gallagher Asphalt Corporation, let on May 21st for Elevator Road from US Route 52 to US Route 52 resurfacing, County Board District 2.
Motion, Revis.
Second Oxley. Do you have a previous Winfrey?
Second, Hickey.
Second Hickey. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 4, confirming award of contract to Deconstruction, let on May 21st. Troy Road District resurfacing various roadway, County Board District 7.
Motion, Revis.
Second, Hickey.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 5, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for construction engineering services, Phase 3, with Trans Systems Corporation for the construction of Lorenzo Road over the BNSF Railroad Grade Separation, County Board District 1.
Motion, Revis.
Second Winfrey, previous.
Second, Hickey.
Second Hickey. All those in favor? Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 6, authorizing an agreement between the County of Will and Northern Illinois Gas Company, Nicor Gas Company for reimbursement for relocating facilities for the improvement of Laraway Road from Cedar Road to Spencer Road, County Board District 2.
Motion, Revis.
All those in favor? Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 7, Authorizing approval of supplemental professional services agreement with Burns and McDonnell on River Road, Wilmington Peatone Road from I-55 to Drexler Road, County Boards Districts 1 and 2.
Motion Revis.
Second Axel.
Second.
All those in favor? Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 8, authorizing approval of establishment of an altered speed zone 698 along Offner Road within the Green Garden Township Road District, County Boards District 1, 2, and 3.
Motion Revis.
All those in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 9, authorizing approval of establishment of altered speed zone 699 along Shear Road within the Manhattan Township Road District, County Board District 2 and 3.
Motion Revis.
Previous, Vicky.
All those in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Authorizing the Will County State's Attorney's Office to proceed with condemnation cases regarding the county's improvements of Francis Road, County Highway 64 from Gauger Road, County Highway 52 to Interstate 80, County Board District 5.
Motion Revis.
Second, Vicky.
All those in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 11, granting an access for egress and ingress and egress for a solar farm on the Manhattan Arsenal Road, County Board District 2.
Motion.
Previous, Vicky.
Second Axel.
All those in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I have some other new business that's not on the agenda, and it really is just, I gave the letter to Jeff, just so you know. He's gonna get us some answers, right? You don't have it today, right, Jeff?
I would have to read it
Yeah.
fully. I do.
We had a resident write us a letter about Lincoln Highway 398. There's a sewer cap that people swerve to avoid because it works like a pothole and it makes a loud noise. I know we have this circumstance in Bolingbrook and it's terrible because there are residences probably within 50 feet. And it's very annoying. We won't talk about dangerous. It's just annoying to the people who live there. So Jeff's going to check on if that's a county road and if we can do anything about it.
Lincoln Highway is actually not. So my response, if this were to come to me, would be that this is not on a county highway. Go to probably, I'm assuming it's IDOT. I'd have to look at the map, but
Can we forward this on to IDOT on behalf of this gentleman?
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's very annoying. And I had a feeling just because it was called Lincoln Highway that it was the state's road, but it's not my territory, so. Okay, and Jeff, Director of Transportation Discussion.
yes, I only have one item that's not on your agenda. We recently got confirmed with the Crete-Monee High School that our Eastern Will County Freight Mobility Study, we have a public information meeting on June 26th from 4 to 7. So if anyone wants to learn more about the Eastern Will County Freight Mobility Plan that we're working out that way, this will be a chance for the public to come to see where we're at in the design. I think there's some alternatives at the ends we're presenting to the public for their comment. So if you want to see that, you can attend that meeting or go to our project website, eastwillmobility.com.
Will we get an email notification of the meeting?
Those in
Or
the
an
area
invitation
will,
or
but when it comes up, I can give it to Chief of Staff and he can forward on to everyone.
Yeah, because I know I would like to attend.
Yeah. The board members in that area and elected officials will get one, but we can send it around.
Yep.
I would normally have attached it, but it just wasn't ready and we weren't clear to attach it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Anything else?
I do not.
Anything from the state's attorney?
No, I don't.
Monthly work reports are here for construction and maintenance in phase 2. Anybody have any questions? Jeff, do you have anything you want to say about those?
No.
Nope. Any reports by committee members? Any public comments? Any public comments? Going 3 times. Public comment. Oh, there we go. Well, you're not the public.
Well, I just want to say I did receive a letter from Miss Sydney Hulch, I believe, from Lockport. And basically her letter describes trouble getting on and off of Route 30 in front of Providence High School. So just to be read into the record that I did receive the letter and I do believe that is with the state of Illinois.
It is.
If he had an idea to put a traffic signal there, And once again, for the record, the county board has no authorization to do that. So her letter was received and I just wanted to mention that, mention that. That was directed to myself, so maybe other board members may have received that as well, but that's what I got.
And I would suggest that maybe that one get forwarded to the state as well. That's their road
Yeah.
and,
Mhm.
you know, they.
Just to follow up on that particular point, just so the committee is aware, this time of year, at the end of the school year, I get probably 10 or so of these letters similar to this on different things from a class at the Providence High School. Part of their class, they offer up things for elected officials and people in my position to start looking at. So it's an interesting thing that they have them do. And so we'll look at it and respond accordingly. If they're not our road, we respond, but if they're ours, we let them know. What they do it from there, I don't know, but we do respond to all the letters we do get.
And I'm going to let our chief of staff talk next.
The county board staff did receive several letters as well related to a lot of these road projects. What we're in the process of doing right now is forwarding them to the county board members whose districts those issues fall under, and we'll allow the county board members to respond if they wish. If not, we'll respond from the county board. So.
Okay. And I would just like to add to the record, when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade, we wrote a letter. And back in the day in Bolingbrook, if you wanted to get to school, you had to climb up the stairs, walk across the catwalk and down the stairs over the top of Route 53 at the corner of 53 and Briarcliff Road. We wrote to ask for a signal light at that corner and we got one. Our class got the signal light put in. And at Route 53 obviously is a state highway. And then there was a crosswalk there and the kids could just go across and nobody had to climb up these metal stairs and go across the top and down the stairs. And that was long before the ADA. So sometimes these letters do work and they make a change. And I think it's important that we pay attention. So I very much appreciate the fact that we got them and hopefully we'll get them forwarded on to the right individuals and maybe get some changes made. And that is my announcement as the chair. Mr. Oxley.
Yes,
Hold
while
on.
on the subject, I got a call from a constituent on the corner of Briggs Street and Oak Avenue about the lights shining in her horse barn. Chuck and I have talked about this. This has been that I know of, 25-year saga with her in Lockport and her in the county. She's been at planning commission, city council meetings. I've been out there at 5 o'clock in the morning. The lights don't shine in her barn. I think she's looking out the window. She sees bright lights. But the one building she's referring to is probably a quarter mile west of her. So, and Chuck had that call. Well, Jennifer had it and Chuck got it and I've gotten it, but just an FYI. Yes, you've got it too. Yeah.
Apparently she's a very popular resident.
We have talked to ComEd a few times about that light and I think they changed the direction on it to some degree. I don't know how much, but an effort has been made in the past.
Yes.
Whether it's moved or not, I don't know.
We don't have a need for executive session, unless the county executive wants to jump in for something. Yeah. Okay. We'll take a motion for adjournment then. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed, same sign. We're adjourned. Next meeting, July